So different. Well, yeah, getting started. Good evening, everyone. I am Rebecca Shrew, Director of Alumni and Family Philanthropic Engagement. And thank you all for joining us this evening for Shark Tank. We're trying something new tonight, coming to you live from ELC 103, one of our high-tech classrooms. Just a note, we are maintaining social distancing and the students have been tested regularly. So in order for you to hear them better, we will be taking off our masks slightly just to speak to you. Just want to say thank you all for joining us as a member of the Alumni Relations team. My role is to facilitate alumni to alumni connections, alumni to the university, and alumni to the students and the overall community. So thank you for all the alumni, parents, and students that are joining us, faculty, staff, friends. I think I'm being a little nervous. I'm really used to being behind the computer for the past year, so knowing you can all see me. And I always like to say, students, you're here for maybe 4 years as a student, and then for the rest of your life, you are an Eastern alum. So we're here to make sure that you feel part of the community always. And now to introduce our president of Enactus, class of 2021. So you're going to be an alumni soon. So Allie, take it away, and thank you all again.
Thank you. I'm going to take this on. Hello, everyone. My name is Allie Dickinson, and welcome to our 10th annual Shark Tank competition hosted by Eastern University's chapter of Enactus. Although this year looks a little different, we are so glad that you can make it tonight, and we're excited for the show to begin. Our event will be live streamed tonight only with no audience, so we want to apologize in advance for any technical difficulties that may arise. We would like to give you a little background on what Enactus is and who we are. Enactus stands for Entrepreneurial Action Us, which is a community of student, academic, and business leaders committed to using the power of entrepreneurial action to transform lives and shape a better, more sustainable world. If anyone here is interested in becoming a part of our Enactus team, feel free to reach out to either myself or Dr. Sachi, our advisor. Here's an example of a project on the next slide we are currently working on with a nonprofit organization in Royersford, PA. We have helped develop a marketing and social media plan for Julia's Grace Foundation and are looking forward to working with this organization in years to come. And just a little fun fact, she is an alumni, so it's kind of fun to throw that in there. We have helped develop different marketing ideas and social media templates for her as well. We also wanted to thank the local businesses we have partnered with on the next slide that are in the area and helped support Enactus this year. Our commitment to entrepreneurial action and young business leaders is what drives our Shark Tank event. Over the past 10 years, we have given out roughly $20,000 to our contestants. Tonight, you will be hearing from 4 groups of entrepreneurial students who have worked very hard to get to this point in the competition. There will first be a video of each contestant's ideas followed by their pitch. Then there will be a question and answer period between the contestants and our judges. Now we would like to welcome our sharks. We first have Bert Bruce, second we have Morgan Hawkins, and finally we have Leslie Gudell. Mr. Bruce is the Regional President North America for the Rare Disease Business at Pfizer, Inc. In this role, he is responsible for the rare disease portfolio in the US and Canada locations. Prior to this, Bert served as Vice President, Global Commercial Development, Rare Disease, where he led work with teams spanning the breadth of the drug development cycle, from early stage compounds through late stage commercial development. These projects included business development to acquire new medicines and launch readiness for the pipeline portfolio. With over 30 years of broad pharmaceutical experience, he has held diverse leadership positions across marketing, sales, finance, and market research, with scopes both global and regional. Bert began his career with Johnson & Johnson, where he led brands and teams in the therapeutical areas of neuroscience, mycology, allergy, and gastrointestinal disease. He joined Pfizer from Wyeth, where he was accountable for global strategy and performance from the neuroscience portfolio in Latin America, Asia Pacific, and Canada. As the chair of the Pfizer Global Black community, Bert has played a leading role in helping Pfizer respond to issues of racial inequalities, with instrumental in the development of biopharma's equity commitments. He is on the President's Leadership Council at Thomas Jefferson University and Jefferson Health and is a board member for Bold Hope Incorporated. Bert holds a Bachelor's of Science from Eastern University and an MBA from the Wharton School of Business, the University of Pennsylvania. He lives in Doylestown, PA with his wife, Kathleen, and has 3 children. He is an active member at Keystone Fellowship in Montgomeryville, PA, and in his free time enjoys spending time outdoors, watching or playing sports of any kind, and listening to live music of various genres. Our next judge, Morgan Hawkins, graduated from Eastern University in 2016. She studied marketing and entrepreneurship here at Eastern. While she was at Eastern, she was a proud member of Enactus for 3 years. In her sophomore year, she competed with Derek Spies and Shark Tank, taking home second place with the college event mobile app tracker Campus Buzz. After graduating, Morgan started working in merchandising at QVC, seeking to bring amazing products with great values to over 330 million homes nationwide. She spent 1 year on the footwear buying team and has spent the last 4 years in jewelry. She has also participated in various marketing and social media campaigns for QVC. Currently, Morgan is working to start her own brand in Mare, which means out to sea, and is a translation of her name. She's beginning with specialty scented candles to be sold online and through local stores. While starting small, she hopes to own a boutique one day with a carefully curated assortment of branded items spanning from apparel to home to beauty and much more. Over the pandemic, Morgan took her education further by receiving an applied jewelry professional degree from the Gemological Institute of America, GIA. In spare time, Morgan volunteers as the VP of Marketing and Finance for the Lehigh Valley Chapter Association of Women in Communications. This organization empowers women to stay at the forefront of the ever-evolving communications industry. With 13 professional chapters nationwide, Morgan was the co-founder with the fellow EU alumni Joelle Tompkins for the LV chapter in 2019. Lastly, our third judge, Leslie Goodell, currently serves as the COO of Elevate Sports and Media. Her diverse background has led to connections throughout the sports world. Goodell has spent 25 years as a sports broadcaster, 19 of which she helped build startup Comcast Sportsnet into a national brand as the first female sports anchor in the city of Philadelphia. She also has worked with ABC Sports and ESPN, covering everything from college football, the Indy 500, US Open figure skating, the Little League World Series, professional bowling, and the Rose Parade. In addition, Goodell has over 13 years of experience as an entrepreneur, having started and exited two successful small businesses. Goodell's work carries over in the nonprofit world as well. She founded and still leads her daughter's foundation, Candles Llc, dedicated to raising money and awareness for patients with AVM. She is also on the board of the Andy Talley Bone Marrow Foundation. Goodell holds a Bachelor of Arts degree from UCLA, where she was a varsity captain of the crew team. We now look forward to beginning the show. We will welcome our first contestant up to the front, Roshane Bent, to present. Roshane.
Hi Sharks, my name is Roshane Bent. I'm here to introduce the app called JobQ. What JobQ does for businesses is, say they are having a job fair on campus. Instead of having students sit there and write their names down and do all that whole process and taking pictures of their resume, the student will have all that information all on a scannable code. So when the business scans it, they get their name, age, major, and then they get also their resume. It will be all sent to an Excel spreadsheet where they can manage the data and do whatever they want, such as mass emails. For students, JobQ is basically their own business card. So instead of being unprepared whenever they meet a new person and stuff like that, they have all their information on their phone and their resume. So whenever they meet an opportunity, they're always prepared. With your help, Sharks, we can make JobQ the Snapchat of business. He claims
So if we could actually go to his presentation, it's on the next slide that we were sharing.
All right, so this is, whoops, one slide. To
We go back. Yeah, there you go.
So this is job queue. This is our main logo, and then that is our app logo right there. Basically, what it does is, next slide. So what it does is, it's basically a portable digital copy of your resume. And also it's a digital business card, and it's a data tracker. Basically what you would do is you scan and you receive info back and forth. So that's how it works. The story behind the app is my professor was giving us a lecture on opportunity. She said you should always have your resume on you because you never know when opportunity is gonna come across. Working in the mail center, I do a lot of scanning of packages, and I was like, this is a very easy thing of just getting data, and I'm able to track it on a spreadsheet of where these packages are for students. And then networking in person. So I'm a very social person. I can talk to people, and then they usually ask me for my number. I had a prototype made of the QR code. So all they would have to do is scan it, and they had all my contact information. And I still talk to these people to this day. And then it's just attending job fairs. I found it very tedious of just going to every booth, signing my name, everything like that for every booth. I think this will make it much easier and seamless of just scanning, and then I can just continue talking to the person. There's no breakaway of the conversation. Next slide. It's the Snapchat of business. So would you want to play a game where players can easily gain an edge over you just by paying for it, which is basically what LinkedIn works for. You're paying for those SEOs and stuff like that. It's a pay to win system. Instagram is an app that is constantly deleted and downloaded. So I wanted to make it more like Snapchat, where it's like more intimate app. Snapchat is an entity that can live on its own, where it's not, it's not going to be deleted from your phone. Most people have multiple social media apps, such as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. So this is just going to be just like that, just for LinkedIn and Indeed and all those other apps. It's going to live right on your phone with just those. Most people have more than one social media app. I just explained that, and it's more intimate. So most people who have Snapchat, the people that's on your Snapchat account are people that you met in person. It's not like LinkedIn, where you can just add people that you met like years ago or something like that. It's like you just met this person, you have them. It's a more close-knit relationship. So here's the prototypes. Sign up page, sign up login. Next slide. The camera app. There's Professor Sachi right there. That's his profile. Those are scan contacts, and then who scanned you. And I'm gonna get into that. That's basically the premium service of being able to see that. And then when it happens, when a person actually scans you, this is the screen that will pop up. Can I get a next slide? And the events page. So again, these are things that you're going to be able to see. So on the far right of that, you'll be able to have an events page, just like how Snapchat has its stories page. We have a calendar. So anytime you click on an event and you're interested, go straight to the calendar. It loads it up for you, tells you the times in which it's going to start. And then when you actually want to read more, the developer or the person who posted the event, they can post their pictures and stuff like that if you want more detail regarding that. You get next. Those are the mass messages, mass text. So you can easily hit a text button and then compose multiple messages you want to send. That's your scan report, your scan score. Those are kind of self-explanatory, but that's how that whole app is more similar to Snapchat. Snapchat has its own scan score and stuff like that. But now you can track your data, which is part of the premium service. And then events videos, where people can post their videos up there for events, just like a YouTube page. Then target market and plan. So I want to focus on local universities and companies that expand reach because since it's an internet app, we're around 4 universities, so it's easy to just go to each university and pitch the idea to their career development team or whatever. And we can have those, and once we have all those students, the companies are obviously going to jump on board because it's like we have the user base now. The premiums for students, for just a personal person, it's $3.99 for the first month, $9.99 for a quarter, and then $19.99 for the whole year. A premium company would pay $5.99 for a month, $15.99 for a quarter, and then $30.99 for the closing. You guys are tired of pay-to-win gimmicks. If you are tired of artificial perceptions, and if you want to be prepared for an opportunity, join JobQ, the new kid on the block.
So if you could just go back, so we're going to open up to questions for the judges.
Hey, Rashid, I'll start. Value proposition. I see it for the student. I don't see it for the employer. Talk to us about what that is.
All right, so for the employer, if you want to go back to the scan reports, I wanted to give it more of a personal use. Wanted to showcase more of the personal aspect of the app because I didn't have really, there's not much time within the whole presentation to go through that whole thing. But for an employer, say they have their iPad out there or whatever, they can track the scan reports. So for right here, it's kind of blurred out because of it's a screenshot, but you can see juniors, seniors, graduates, freshmen, they can track who they scan, and then that could better help them with their marketing, because if they're at a job fair and they only attract seniors, then something's wrong if they're wanting to attract, freshmen and new incoming freshmen and stuff like that. So it's just data for them to really understand what's going on, or you can change the filter of what type of report you want to look at. So with the sign-up sheet, you put in the information that you have. So you can say what you identify as, so they can even track that, what type of demographic am I attracting and stuff like that. So it's mostly just for them to have data and to see, and once they have all their scan people, I did research with Vanguard, and Vanguard, what they have is they have you write down your name on the iPad. They said this is more advanced when I met with them. They're head of everyone. So they type in their stuff like that. And then they have a person take a picture of your resume. And at the Vanguard location, they sit there and open up those pictures and read them. So imagine if the picture is not really that good, and then you're just like, well, I can't really read what that part says, but and it's more tedious. I think this will be better because now they have it on an Excel spreadsheet. They can filter out the people that they want. Say they just want computer science majors, they could filter all of that out and then open up the resumes individually and see it. And it's a clean copy because it's like a PDF version.
So it digitizes, so it digitizes the resume and allows the employers to sort based on the fields that they want to sort on?
Yep, it's all about data, sorting it and just taking whatever. How to digitize it, that's kind of like, well, it's not really a secret, I can tell you. It's gonna,
I don't even know how, I just need to know whether, yes.
So it basically takes the full version of it. It doesn't even, it's not like the person takes a picture of it. You just upload the link to your account. It in the sign up page, it shows you where it says upload resume, and on iPhones they have the built-in Files app, so you can just take it directly from your Files app, or if you're on an Android, you can take it from your Google Drive. Might be just one more slide. Yep, upload resume, major, how to identify yourself, your language level, all those things they can sort through. So if they want certain languages, like a person who's a little bilingual that can speak multiple languages, they have that. the level of education, they can have that information if they wanted that. Or that's the data tracking part of it.
I think it's a cool idea. I like the ease of access for employers, that they can gather everything in one spot. I like the filtering, that they can kind of pick and choose if they're looking for something specific. Is the idea that it's just for college students that are looking for a full-time job, or is it also for adults that are already in the working world?
So the app is scalable. So say I was a small business, I've thought of these like ideas. Say I just wanted to track the amount of the different people that come into my restaurant. You know, I could set up a rewards program, have them scan it. I could scan their code, have them on a list and send out coupons with the mass email part. So there's different uses, just like how people find different uses with Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that. You can change it based on how you like.
And then is it generally free, but you pay the additional for premium features, or do you have to pay the premium no matter what?
So you get it free because anybody can make this QR code. You want to go 2 slides? Oh, no, next slide. So they'll pay, they get all this information so they can create their profile, all of that for free. Their scan contacts, that's if a person, you scan an individual, so say I come and scan your code, that will go automatically here. And the people who scan me, I should really know who scanned me. So that's why if you wanted to track all of that, you would have to pay for that. So it shows you all the people who scanned you and the location where it was scanned and stuff like that. So that way you can know, like, okay, who's been scanning me, stuff like that. Those are the things that you would have to pay for. But I feel like a regular person, they wouldn't really care about who just scanned them. Not really care, but it's the fact that I know who scanned me. So it's like me tracking that and all of that. That's an added feature that you would have to pay for.
You done any UX on this with anybody experience with any of the user experience with any of like friends or?
Do you want to try it now?
No, I'm just curious as to how much you've done with others.
So with this app, I've used it in the regular world. So creates the code here. I just have like you. I practiced with Dr. Sachi. Dr. Sachi wanted to see how it works. So he has an old phone and it still worked. He was able to get all my contact information that was needed. That's if you don't have the app. If you did have the app, you would scan it and it'll pull up the profile or whatever like that.
So how, so I noticed your competitive set when it's different than, what was it, Instagram, or different than?
It's LinkedIn is the Facebook of business. So this would be the Snapchat of business.
Okay, that was my question. Because when I think about business apps, I think about LinkedIn. I didn't hear you differentiate this from LinkedIn. So why would somebody use this as opposed to putting their profile and sending somebody the LinkedIn URL?
So with the LinkedIn URL, like I said, it's more of a pay to win type system going on with LinkedIn. And also that it's artificial. You don't get that real world connection. I feel like with my generation, we missed that whole social aspect of talking to people. Now we just reach out to them via internet and say I met you today. So I'm like, okay, I saw him on his LinkedIn page, I add him, but we never actually have that dialogue. You know, like you don't know who I am personally. With this app, it's like I've met you, we've had a conversation to the point where I asked you for your phone number, you pulled this code out to scan, and you got that information.
What keeps people needing to use this? Like, what is the useful life of this after they get a job and aren't job searching after that?
Well, it's really, you can go past the job searching, like I said, so for small businesses, but if I was just a regular person, I got my job or whatever, it's always good to network. I met a person today, instead of just sitting there typing their number, I said, my number is 91. What number did you say? Can you repeat that? Blah, blah, blah. You just scan it. You're done with the day. You guys can continue on with your conversation. So it's mostly of just convenience why people will continue using it. And it's going to be Your QR code will be in your passport spot where your Apple Pay. Anytime you set up your Apple Pay, you click it, ease of access, and the person who scans it just opens their camera app.
So QR codes generally have a limit for how many times you can scan them though, right? Unless you pay a certain amount. So do you only get a certain number of scans and then you have to become premium, or do you have unlimited scans with QR code?
You should have unlimited scans, so it works just like how Snapchat works. So when you can scan someone's snap code, you can scan that as many times as you want.
Talk to us about the financials. So I heard, how do you set your price points? How are you gonna make money?
So how did I make those price points or whatever? So how I set these price points is I wanted to know, well, I based it on really on myself. So I realized that I wouldn't spend a certain amount for certain things unless I really needed it. So if it was $3.99, I felt like that was a nice point. It's not $1 where it feels too cheap, and then it's not $5 where it's like, oh my gosh, I just spent $5 for a month and I'm not barely using this app. $3.99 I felt was a really nice point. And then I just times it by 3. It was a high number. So I just cut off like $2. So it makes sense to go to the next to get it for the 3 months versus the 1 month. And then did the same thing for the year. The year is like pretty expensive. So I just cut that down by half to $19.99. Same thing with the businesses. I didn't want to charge a business too much for it. I was thinking about more on the small business side. Also, I didn't want to just go after these giant companies. Like I said, I wanted local companies. So the app is local right now. So I wanted to charge $5.99, $15.99 because right now at this point of the app, if it's local, I'm not paying for servers or anything yet. So I should be able to control all of that with that amount of money.
Sorry if I missed this. There's the free version and the premium version, and what do you get with the premium version that you wouldn't get with the free?
It's just like little details of like who scanned you for a business. What they get for the premium version is they get the whole data tracking part. So they can sit there and make those Excel spreadsheets and go through that whole and go through all the data and create their graphs and stuff. When a regular company has it, they just have the code. So as a student, I'll just walk up to the company, I'll scan their code, or they'll scan my codes or whatever, but they can't actually like track all that data.
So we're gonna try and wrap up this session. So thank you, Rashane. And so next up, we're gonna have Ruth Rita.
Hello, my name is Ruth. The business idea that I've come up with to present today at Shark Tank is a service that assists international students with the global admission process, and at the same time, once they're here in the United States, will help them navigate it here in the United States for their stay easily accessible. When it comes to the global admission process, we're going to help them prepare for standardized tests and get scholarship to come here to the United States, and at the same time, once they're here, we're going to make services that are required for their stay accessible, such as getting social security number, driving license, and so much more. Our service is going to relieve student stress, and at the same time, it's going to provide comfort to their families abroad. In addition to that, it's going to increase the number of international students coming to the United States as a result of the complete service that we provide. My proposal today is for universities in the United States, such as Eastern, to accept our service that is uniquely provided by international students to international students. I hope Shark Tank will make this service a reality on campus. Thank you. The reason why I'm here today is very important because the service that I'm proposing is a service that truly bursted within with a great passion. Overflow is basically using my experience of being an international student who have gone through the global admission process independently and navigated here in the United States with no financial support, which really challenged but rooted my purpose of wanting to become educated to be an impact in the world. So Overflow is using my experience to pave the way for other international students so that they don't have to encounter unnecessary struggles in addition to the many struggles international students face, such as culture shock, language barrier, and so much more. Next slide. So what's the problem? The first thing is lack of complete international student service. So there are agencies abroad that help students with the global admission process, but once they're here, they have no knowledge about the different requirements or responsibilities that are required in order to maintain an active student status. The next thing is difficulties in accessing student service. I remember when I first came, the first thing I had to do was get a social security number, and my advisor had told me how to get a social security number, but I didn't know how to get there because I did not know anyone. In addition to that, accessing health services, driving license, and other services that are required in order to maintain an active student status. The third thing is restriction on employment. So international students are allowed to work 20 hours a week, which is really hard for someone like me who had no financial support. But in addition to that, international students, there are very limited job opportunities on campus because international students don't qualify for federal aid. So that's the third issue. Next slide. So the solution that we're providing is complete international student service, which is we're going to help students prepare for standard tests and bring them here to the United States by helping them in embassy interviews and all those things that are required for the global admission. And once they're here, we're going to help them access the student services. So if they want to file tax forms that are foreign to them, we're going to help them in that process. If they want to get to a social security place, we're going to help them get there and assist them and access the student services that are really required to maintain an active status. The third thing is service. So the service is basically provided by international students to international students. So it's going to solve the lack of job opportunity on campus. Next slide. Okay, so the benefit to target audience is that rather than paying to agencies $6,000 just for the global admission process, but they can use our service through the university and get a complete service, which is the global, being able to access the student services here in the United States, but at the same time, help assist them in the global admission process, which is related to the service accessibility. On-campus employment, international students will be able to work in a job that they're most qualified at because they're going to be helping their fellow international students. Relieve stress. International students face a lot of struggles, and this is definitely going to help them just focus on their studies and relieve stress. The other thing is comfort of their family abroad. This is super important because I remember when I first came, I was 17 years old and I was the youngest child. And it was a struggle for my mom because she wasn't able to assist me financially. And at the same time, knowing that I'm just somewhere with no support was really a struggle for her. So our service is a trusted service that is done by international students who already go into the process. So that's definitely going to provide comfort to their families abroad. Next slide. Service benefits to universities. The first thing is that the university will be able to provide job opportunities for international students on campus. The other thing is additional fees. So rather than paying to agencies, they can pay in the school. The third thing is strong international team. This is super important to attract international students abroad because the team will assist in getting international students from abroad using social marketing strategies, and at the same time, having a united team is important because they can assist in orientation programs that can attract international students, and at the same time, alumni can, bring students from different parts of the country by presenting the service from where they're at. So yeah, this is all about Overflow. Thank you.
I just want to start questioning. You guys can go ahead. What kind of financing do you think is going to be needed to run a business like this?
So basically, since we're proposing the service to universities, we're asking 50% from the university because they're making them pay additional fees, and we're gonna use that. We're basically gonna have two teams. The other team is that will be working, that would be able to have a job opportunity on campus, and the other team is our team, the founders. So we're basically asking 50%. But the second team will be paid by the university since it's a job on campus.
big is the international student market compared to, I guess, just all students?
So it depends on the university. So there are a lot of international students in different universities, so I guess it depends on the university. But I think one of the issue is that international students are not coming to certain universities because they're not, it's hard to, there hasn't been a service provided for international students that assists both service, the global and helping them access here. So international students would prefer other universities just for that. Yeah. So having that service on campus is definitely going to attract international students because we know that what international students desire in order to join like a certain university. So we're definitely going to use strategies to attract international students since we've already gone through the process.
So I started by thinking this service doesn't exist today, but then you put a price point of $6,000 up.
Well,
So does a
so-
service like this exist today?
no, this service does not exist. Let me explain about that. So there are agencies abroad that make you pay $6,000 just for the global admission process. So they're going to help you prepare. They don't really usually prepare you for standard tests, but they help you get universities. So they have connections with the universities.
Okay.
But our service is saying, we're going to help you do that. And we're actually can train you. Like we have international team that has scored good on ACT so that they can train them and at the same time help them in the embassy interviews because different countries have different embassy interviews requirements. So we're helping them with the global admission process, and then once they're here, we're making services accessible to them. So there's
So is it gonna be an incremental cost?
no, it's gonna be
You're gonna do are you gonna do everything that they're paying the $6,000 for, and then you're gonna continue to follow them
here.
when they're here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're gonna pay once and for all, like the school's going to make them pay. That's what all universities do for international students. They're gonna make them pay once. I mean, there will be continued paying, but like for the assistance. So yeah, so it's gonna be like one project.
So I'm gonna stay away from the numbers. Leslie will get you the numbers in a second. But my question is gonna be, what kind of training or expertise do you need to stay current? That's a significant responsibility that I hear you saying another student is going to communicate on behalf of another student. How are they gonna know that they're staying current on all the information?
The international students abroad? Or?
No, the ones that you're employing to do this.
Yeah, basically, so there will be a team that's more qualified than the employees that like the international students that will be working on campus. So our team, the reason why we're asking 50% is because we're also going to control that. So basically, there will be team 1 and team 2. So team 1 will be assessing the international team 2 that will be working for us. So yeah, I guess the distribution of the workload is going to be supported by the first team that is going to assist the other team.
And the one team works for the university. Are you tapping into the expertise within the university to help you stay current?
Yes.
Okay, and that's like team 1, and then your team is like team 2. Is that right?
Yeah. So basically, so what I'm saying is that the reason why I'm differentiating the two teams is that there is a team that are very skilled international students who would go into the global admission process and at the same time navigate here independently. The international students that will be working for us did not really go through all the process together. So we are going to assist them, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I guess I'm having trouble figuring out how you pay the people on team 2 to keep, how to employ them to continue. Because what you're talking about is offering them expanded service from what's being offered right now, but I don't see where the extra money's coming from to be able to do that.
The extra money.
Like if you've got people who are so they're seeing it through further, they're going to help them down the line, not just to get here, right? So if somebody's paying $6,000 right now to come over, they get all set up and then they're done with them.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying, right? So if they're paying $6,000 and now you're gonna do all this extra stuff. How are you gonna pay these people to continue to do all the extra stuff?
So I mean, it's more of a collaboration, right? The school's gonna get involved as well.
Right.
So for instance, when it comes to like, so the second team is basically like, it's going to, their job is very, very specific, right? So like, we're gonna support them in the many things, like the ongoing process.
Right.
So I believe that there's not gonna be a lot of work on them because we're overall seeing the process, and then we're also limiting the jobs that they can do because of what we can offer as well.
So I think I understand the need, and I think that we can see, I mean, it's complicated, and obviously I'm not an international student, but I can understand it's probably very complicated to get here and to understand all the steps. I guess mine is just kind of to piggyback off that. So how are you going to make money? Are you going to charge a premium on top of the $6,000 that students have to, in order to use your service, they're going to pay you additional?
No, so they're paying to the school, right? And so basically, so they're paying to the school in order to have a complete service.
Hold on, sorry. I thought you were helping them find the school.
Yeah, we are helping them find the school. So I don't know how to explain it.
So is it a platform for schools? So a school like Eastern, Cabrini, Villanova, they all sit on the platform, and then
Yes.
at home, you can go on
Yeah.
and you say, okay, these are my schools, these are
But
my
basically, the
options.
university that we're attracting them is the ones that we have already partnered with.
Okay, so the universities will be paying you to be on
Yes.
your platforms,
Yes.
not the students.
Yes. No,
Okay.
That's-
Okay,
Because if
I like that
if they
because
pay additional fees, then why not just pay to them? It's gonna be a lot of
Right.
expense.
So what's the incentive for the universities to pay you to do that when what they're doing right now is working, let's say, enough for them? It's obviously a great need, and like you're addressing something you're thinking compassionately about the person who's over here sort of feeling stranded or abandoned or whatever, or doesn't have the support, but the university is kind of saying, well, why should we pay to do something that already works for us?
Yeah, so basically, our team, like, since like the whole vision of overflow is provided by internationals to internationals, that's very unique because advisors cannot, it's very hard for advisors to attract international students rather than the international students that have already gone through the process. That's one unique thing about our service. In addition to that, it's going to increase the number of international students because our team is not just going to be involved. It's also going to be involved, like, like the whole point of having a strong international team is to attract students from abroad to come to the specific universities. So there's going to be an increasing amount of international students coming to the specific university because of the strategies that we use in order to attract the students.
What are the other benefits to a university of having an international student body?
Having international student.
Yeah. No, just having,
Diversity.
yeah.
Yeah, diversity.
Are there economic incentives? Are there federal grants? Are there other economic benefits to the university that has a robust international population?
Yeah, I mean, basically the benefit is that they can further like get job opportunities and serve here like that. There are some things that international students do after they're employed. So one of the strategies that we use to attract international students is that we're also offering them that there are opportunities beyond graduating, and that's definitely going to help the economy here. Yeah.
I will have one more minute if there's any final questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next up, we're gonna have Carl Gordon come up to present his project.
Hello Sharks, my name is Carl Gudel Jr. I'm a senior here at Eastern University, and I'm also Army ROTC student over at Valley Forge Military College. Today I want to share with you not only a business plan, but a mission that is so very passionate to my heart. Candles Llc is not just a business, but a ministry to reach Christian believers and non-believers alike. Each candle is uniquely scented and comes with a prayer card in order to help people connect with God. We also offer worldwide shipping, so we can send these candles and send these prayer cards all around the world to people in order to grow faith in the entire kingdom. And before I got started, I thought about my why, and I wondered, why do I want to get into business? Why do I want to get into ministry? So the first thing that I thought of was that I want to reach people and I want to spread the gospel because I'm really passionate about people growing their faith. Second is I want to reach financial freedom. It's always been important to me as a child growing up to be into entrepreneurship and to continue on to reach financial freedom and help other people as well. My company is not just a ministry and it's not just a product, it's equally both. And that's why I'm so proud to be going into business for myself. I look forward to meeting you, I look forward to answering all questions, and I look forward to giving you more details on Kingdom Candles. Thank you very much for your time. Hello Sharks, my name is Carl Gudel Jr. And here we have my logo on the far left side. In the middle is me. I'm from Manchester, Connecticut. This is my fiance, Adriana, and we've been together for 5 years, and we were happy together. And it's just I'm doing this business for us together, not just for myself, but for my family as well. And ultimately, our goal is to make money and help people. That's really what I want to do in a faith-based way. Next slide, please. So I want to talk first a little bit about my product. We make 100% beeswax candle. It's natural and non-toxic. It burns brighter and it burns longer than soy or paraffin candles, and it cleans and purifies the air and emits negative ions into the air, which attach to the positive ions in the air, which gets rid of dust, dirt, mold, allergens in the air. So people who have asthma or allergies will can breathe cleaner air. Each candle comes with a guided prayer card, it has a correlating prayer and meditation. It comes with each candle. So down here in the bottom, it's kind of hard to see, but our first collection is called Fruits of the Spirit. I'm kind of a play on words because it's fruit scents and it's fruits of the Spirit. So we can see like love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Our first scent is Peaceful Peach, Orange Mango Goodness, Pomegranate Love, and Joyful Berry. So if you need more peace in your life, or if you want to encourage someone with peace with our gift service, you can send this candle to them, and it comes with the prayer card. It comes with the candle, so you can meditate with it. You can use it for scent, just to improve your faith and improve your encouragement as you walk with God. Or if you don't walk with God, then if you can take a step to maybe get to know Him a little better. Next slide, please. So here's a little bit about my competition. I won't get into everything because of time, but I did some market research on 2 companies that I saw were the biggest in the market right now. Big Dipper wax candles, or based on beeswax candles specifically, and root candles. I'm trying to produce a candle around the 8-ounce mark, and Big Dipper wax candles produces their closest thing to an 8-ounce is 6.2 ounces, and it goes for $19. Root candles produces their medium 8-ounce candle for $19.95. Next slide, please. Here is my startup costs, everything that I'm going to need to start up this business. And down here, it totals up to $1,002.55. So if I'm awarded the prize tonight, that this is how I would spend the money. This is how I would break down everything. This is the amount the amount of the product I would need, and the source that I'm going to get it from. Next slide, please. To get into like how I'm going to produce the candle, the total production cost of one 8-ounce candle is $6.65. This is a breakdown of how much each material costs and the percentage of that $6.65. The wax takes up the biggest part of that, is our most expensive item because it's a rare renewable resource. Beeswax costs more than paraffin wax or soy wax. Next slide, please. So here's some of our numbers, sales by the numbers. With the $1,000, I can purchase all of my startup materials and make 96 candles. And the cost per candle is $6.65. And I'm going to sell that candle for $12.50. The profit equals $5.85 per candle. So my gross sales, $12.50 times 96 candles that I'll be able to produce is $1,200. And my cost of goods sold is $638.40 out of that 1,000. And then my net profit will be $561.60, equating to a 47% profit margin. Next slide, please. This is how I'm going to reach the kingdom, how I'm going to reach the world. We offer an international shipping service to over 133 companies. This is provided through Shopify on our online store. I'm also going to be a traveling event vendor, where I will go to different places in my local community. I'm from Connecticut. We have farmers markets all summer long, and different events like that. I'm going to travel work and just build those connections, meet people, sell my candles. I was previously an event marketer, so I like to use that experience to get out there, talk to people, sell my product. We're also going to run fundraising campaigns for churches and youth groups. So we can go to church, set up at a church, and do a fundraising campaign for them. They will get a percentage of the profits, and we'll keep the rest of it for our profit, kind of to serve the church, give them some money. Also, we make money as well. And lastly, we'll utilize social media for promotion of our products, with paid ads and such, truly focusing on that connection with the church, with the people. Yeah, you're good. Next slide, please. And here's the 4 phases that we're going to go through, as you can see here. And lastly, phase 4, refining the product based on customer feedback. I brought with me some, not my product, but what the product could potentially look like. So this is a 16-ounce jar of I believe paraffin wax. So it's just a tin candle. I'm not sure how much. I paid about $20 for this candle. I'm just under $20 including tax. And it's a double wick system here. And this is a 16-ounce. Mine would be a little smaller, 8 ounces, possibly still double wicked as well, because beeswax is denser, so it burns a little differently. The scent doesn't really matter because it's not my candle. And then in the future, we hope to build better jars than that and buy something source that I'm looking at Alibaba.com to bring in some jars. These are some examples of what they could possibly look like. Okay, next slide. And that's it. Open to questions.
Well, I can jump in.
Go ahead, it's fine.
So this is interesting because I am recently looking into starting my own business, and I'm starting with candles too. So mine are soy candles. So I didn't know a lot about beeswax, so this is interesting to hear kind of the benefits of it and the differences. I guess so. I have a couple questions. First, are you only looking at selling directly to consumers, or are you also looking at wholesale, other stores, boutiques, anything like that?
So to start, I'm not going to go into boutiques or wholesale right away. I want to focus on make sure I'm developing a good quality product, and then delivering that to customers, get that customer feedback to see if they like my product, make sure that it burns correctly. Sometimes you get candle, they don't burn right. There's just a hole in the middle, or you want to burn evenly all the way around. So you get the scent and the benefits of the candle. You actually get your money for the candle, not just kind of burns out and it's gone. So yeah, just focusing on the business to consumer right now, not business to business just yet. I want to make sure I have a good product first.
But down the line, would you want to go the wholesale route?
Honestly, I haven't put much thought into business to business just yet and getting into any stores or boutiques. But if it was a hit, then definitely I would love to scale the business. I haven't thought about building the business up as best I could and selling it. I'm not giving it, of course not, but selling it off to a bigger company who would like to take this off and not continue on my entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
How long does it take to make them?
I'm not sure. I haven't made any candles yet. But there is a pretty extensive testing process that you have to go through, because it's not just pour the candle and then it's good. You have to get the right wick size. You have to make sure the wick size goes it emits the right flame to burn around the entire jar. So it's a pretty extensive process. I'm not sure just yet. But in my list of products, there's a wax melter from Soylent Products, and that's going to allow me to put a large quantity of wax into a pot. It's in a Presto pot, and it heats up by itself. You make sure you get the right temperature, and then you turn the spout, and it goes pour into your pitching pan or your pouring pitcher, and then you pour that into the candle. So to kind of speed up the process. There's other processes that are a little bit slower, but I wanted to bypass those and go straight to the fastest one, produce as much as I can. We're still kind of controlling that aspect of it.
the 47% margins, I think that was a couple slides earlier. So where did you come up with that? Where did you land there? What does 47 sound right?
So 47% comes from the $561.60 going into the $1,200. That's my profit, and that's 47% of $1,200.
But does that seem like, do you think that that's competitive with the beeswax market? Because I know from the soy and paraffin market, it's closer to 70 to 80% margins, especially, and that's where I guess my question was coming
Yeah, if
from
you're
on
going
wholesale.
wholesale later, you
They-
need you need more cushion.
Exactly. Wholesale will want a 50% discount, so you're already negative margins. So that's the only thing I would just maybe take a look at that. I don't think $665 for a candle, that's not bad cost. But I would look at that down the line. You're not set up for wholesale. So do you need to be more like $25, $30 so that when you sell wholesale, you still make something in
And
there?
why aren't you $25 or $30?
Yeah,
I just
Well,
I'm
he
not-
said 8 ounce versus 16 ounce, right? So he's not the larger, you're not the larger size, this is the smaller side. So I kind of get that, but I do agree. I think you need to be, your sale price needs to be higher. And if you are successful, that cost per candle will come down because you'll understand how to mass produce it a little bit more. So I don't know that you need to be 30, but I think,
I just want to know why he wasn't. I agree with
20,
you.
you know?
Because
Yeah.
what I don't understand yet is like you started with a beautiful, like, I'm not sure if you're selling candles or if you're selling the fruits of the spirit and the ability to connect with people. And in a remote world of COVID, there's a lot there. So you had a huge value proposition up front, and now you're talking about candles.
Yeah.
So there's more, plus you missed where's your advertising cost a year? And your shipping cost a year. So I don't think your 47 is 47.
Right.
Right. So,
And you
but
never want to go below 40 and
right. So I think if you land, know where you want to land, you have headroom when you think about who your audience is and what is it you're really like. I love them. I love the fruits and spirit bag. Like I love it. Right. I probably get it even if I don't know what it smells like,
right.
because it's more than the smell. It's the prayer card, it's the connectivity. There's value to that you haven't priced in here, is my hypothesis. You're pricing the candle, not the value of what you're looking to have the market need, the need that you're trying to meet in the market.
got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, felt like you had it paired together in the beginning, and then one just sort of fell off, and we were talking about candles. I was thinking the same exact thing. What's your market? Who's your market? I know you're talking about internationally, but just starting here, who's your market?
So right here, in Connecticut, I'm going to start there. I want to use this as a summer job because I'm going into the military in December. So this summer I want to work on building up my business and getting to an established point. So I'm going to just call local churches and kind of cold call and just say, look, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. And that's my plan to like just get started and see how long it sells. And then if I'm making good money, I want to invest into more social media, but I don't want to just dump a bunch of money into social media and try to attack that market or those consumers, and they might not be interested, they might be. I want to see if it works with actual people first. So just mostly Christians, mostly people who are in the church, and people who using their networks. They want to increase maybe their nephew or their grandson or somebody they know, a loved one who lost somebody. They want to encourage them in faith. So I'm really relying on that Christian network, and I think it's strong. I believe it's strong. I believe it's a good target market to go to. Usually, I've tried to do other businesses or other plans, and always seeing my target market has been tough. But finding a Christian target market will help me go in the right direction. Differentiate me from the market. Like the other two candles, the root candles, Waxworks, they're non-Christian. Anybody can just buy a candle from them. I want to differentiate that way.
Oh, you're thinking the right way when it comes to that.
yeah, I think you're definitely differentiated. I like it. I have a question on the international shipping. So the problem with shipping candles are that they melt when it gets hot. So it's very difficult to ship candles in the summer, and you typically need to ship them to deliver in 2 to 3 days. Otherwise they'll melt in a truck, on a boat, on whatever it is. So how are you going to get them overseas and to avoid heat?
I haven't thought through that. I'm not gonna act like I have. So yeah, that's something that I will have to work through. And I'm sure, like, thank you for telling me that, because it'll probably come up when I strip an order out to someone and they come to me like, what the heck is this? So I'll have to, reconcile with that customer. But I did not even know that it actually can melt. I didn't think of that. So.
Yeah.
And there's a whole, just so you know, there's a whole other accounting piece, like if you're shipping to Canada, now you're paying taxes to Canada, you have an entirely different setup up there, you have to business. The paperwork is endless. Focus here and then worry about that later, because I think you've got a big enough market just in the United States to be able to tap into.
Can you make these, can you make them at home?
Yes, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Could I make them at home?
If you had the materials, if you had the willpower, the knowledge, you could.
So
$1,000.
just because I think there's a lot of things in here that I don't know about, but that the things I do know about, there's a lot of people at home with kids looking for lots of things to do.
Mhm.
I wrote down here, can you do a do-it-yourself kit where you can sell all of the same aspects and you don't have to go through the trouble of making the candle?
Yeah, that's actually out there on Amazon and stuff. They'll sell you like a little $25 kit. It comes with pretty much everything you need. The tins, the wax.
Now we have the
everything.
$25.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's exactly 25, but it's not that expensive for the kit. And people do that, but I could also tap into that market as well. Exactly.
I feel like getting the numbers hammered out and then leaning on the faith-based part is gonna be, if you could just get this figured out, then the other part is the marketing and getting out to the other people and figuring out. Figuring out exactly how you do that.
I agree. I think the product is there, that it makes sense. I think there is a market for it. You know the market. I think it's just the numbers behind it.
So just a little pricing background for anybody that's interested in this. So my brother-in-law's brother happens to be like one of the foremost pricing experts in the world. He did all the pricing for Amazon Prime, for PayPal, for Mattel toys. Like he retired before he was 50. So we'll go Barbie, all of that. So he, when I started a gift product, said that you should always have 3 products and 3 options, with the intention of having the middle product be the one that you want to sell the most of, because somebody will try to buy the cheapest because they're cheap, and somebody will pay whatever you want to price the top end one at, $50, whatever, because they want to be cool and buy the most expensive. But the majority of people are going to buy the middle product. So it's a great lesson in pricing, thinking about having 2 options creates confusion. They did a study with 2 wine bottles and they put $10 and $15 and people wanted to know where the $12 bottle of wine was. So something to think about for anybody who's working with products and that type of thing. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah, and you can do that easy with different ounces. You can sell 8 ounces, you can sell 25 ounces.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking when you were showing the little one. I'm like, oh, you do a little one and then you just, and then, yeah.
Mhm.
You get a whole church service with the big one.
Awesome. Is there any final questions? Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
And then lastly, let's just welcome Tyler Bennett and Nick.
Hi, my name's Tyler Bennett.
Hi, and I'm Nick Kaczynski. Both of us are seniors here at Eastern University. We've been playing golf our whole entire life and we love the sport. When we came to school, we came for baseball, and then so having golf and baseball, the 2 swings did not mix. But now that we're pitchers only here in college, we can spend a lot more time on our golf swing rather than our baseball swing. Being able to play golf on our off days gives us a refreshing break between the constant schoolwork and baseball. And then this has only improved our appreciation for the sport, and we strive to improve our game.
While we all hope for the ideal shot from the fairway, golfers experience shots from the rough, sand, and, if you're my partner Nick, sometimes from the woods. Over time, this leads to debris buildup on the face, back, and sole of the club. And we've noticed that the average golf club brush does not get the job done around the whole club head.
Coming to this conclusion, we have come up with the ACE Club Cleaner. With the ACE Club Cleaner, golfers can experience a 2-in-1 360-degree clean club head, along with then also a portable and personal ball cleaner.
With additional groove cleaner and stronger bristles, this product is the definition of a club expert.
Hi Sharks, my name is Tyler Bennett. This is my partner Nick Kaczynski. We're both seniors here at Eastern University. We're also avid golfers on our free time. During the time or the year during the pandemic, while we were not playing baseball, we were able to kind of sharpen our golf game. If it worked or not, it's not really important right now, but.
So what is important is that we have come up with a product that we see would be an asset to any golfer that's on the course, no matter the skill level. So with the average golf brush in just about every golfer's bag, we've been able to notice that it's not time efficient or capable of cleaning the entire club. And that includes the sole, the back, the face. They can't really do it in a timely manner. So then this is why we created the Ace Club Cleaner.
This product not only allows the golfer to clean the iron face of debris after any shot in the fairway, rough, or sand, but is also a personal ball cleaner. During COVID, courses have taken away the personal ball cleaners at each and every tee box due to precautionary measures. With this 2-in-1 club and ball cleaner, you will not miss a beat when it comes to hitting any shot with a clean and controlled club face and ball.
So the Ace Cleaner is a one-of-a-kind cleaner in that it has a cylinder design with high-quality stiff nylon brushes that allow plenty of room for any iron to fit, ranging from your wedges to then a 2-iron. With the brushes being specifically placed through the cleaner, your ball has the ability to move freely on the inside. With the cap on and the shake of the cleaner, your ball will be clean free of any stains or dirt that would be on it. As dirt and debris builds up inside, holes on the bottom allow for a quick wash under the sink faucet for a fresh Ace Club Cleaner for every round.
Attached to the outside of the cleaner, the Ace Club Cleaner comes with a groove cleaner to be able to get in the grooves of the iron and allow for higher spin efficiency. With a clip at the end of the cleaner, the golfer is able to attach it to their golf bag and take it with them anywhere they go to walk or ride during the course.
So with other products on the market ranging from $5 to even $30, we are looking to market our final project build at $30. The main aspect that separates us then from competitors would be the 2-in-1 feature of the 360 Club Cleaner, along with then the ball washer. The market is dominated by handheld brushes that leave golfers still cleaning their clubs after a round. So the 360 bristles will leave no extra room for any debris anywhere on the club face. This will eliminate the hassle of scrubbing off stubborn debris that builds up on the round. Everything needed to keep clubs looking brand new is easily accessible on the Ace Club Cleaner.
Looking for future success, we hope to eventually make product partnerships with other companies. This will look to then personalize the cleaner with different designs, and then also create an unscrewable center that allows for even easier access of then cleaning the product after you're using it with debris stuck in it. We also look to eventually motorize the product if possible to even help a better 360 spin to allow the product to then spin and clean with the bristles, clean the whole club head even better. We also want to then eventually get into different product lines such as golf bags that allow our product to already be attached to the bag, which is just easier, and then making more efficient golf bags, and then along with creating a solar powered driving range club cleaner.
But bring it back to then the focus of the product that we have in hand here. We've added all the necessary features to then help golfers take pride in keeping their clubs clean. Throughout this journey of building the product, we have not only created a club cleaner, but we've also created a club expert. And thank you for your time, and we open it to you for questions.
Thanks.
Okay, so I'm an avid golfer, and the first thing I thought was, yeah, oh, this is like the ball wash thing on the thing. But your name doesn't say that. It says it cleans clubs, not balls. And that to me is part of the appeal, is that it cleans both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first thought.
Yes, my first thought was, what would they do wearing ties? But I thought that after.
And I think that I actually like the concept, and I think there's potential. I actually don't think if the motorized thing, well, that sounds cool. It sounds very expensive. There's some twist opportunity here or something that I think you can do with it. I certainly think there's something, but so did you think of the ball idea after you called it the club cleaner?
Yeah, we kind of started with the whole club idea first. And then we just really came upon the idea of cleaning a ball, because I know with COVID, it's been difficult to clean balls at each of the tee boxes. They're gone. And then it's really just a hassle for golfers to have the smudges and the things on the ball with the dirt debris. So I just thought that we
Yeah.
thought it would just be a great
We were
addition.
playing golf and then like.
Yeah.
We didn't have.
It would just be a great addition to the product.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ball part of it's best, because I can take a wet towel and throw it over the back and clean the club off every time before I throw it in the bag. I don't do that all the time, because I'm not good enough to worry about it, but like, I think the ball part of it is the cool part.
Yeah, and the whole idea behind it was the shake weight. of
Yeah.
Putting the ball into the product, shaking it, and then having the ball.
Y'all bring
come
any
out.
dirty balls? Did you bring any, does this thing work? Does it work?
We don't have the balls, but the club
Shit,
goes in. That's
no balls?
all we got.
Cause I'm like,
So-
I'm with Leslie, I play golf not well as well, and when you talk about the balls, I was like, oh, you had me. It doesn't even have to work well, golfers buy everything,
Yeah.
they just put it on their
To
bag.
wet clean the golf balls and not have to wait and hope you have one of those things and now you can't use them, to your point.
Yeah.
Like that is, I think that's your
And
market
then
to
you have the
me.
holes here too, so then for the water, you can just dump it right in with the cap on, and then it just. shake it
Yeah,
up and-
I mean,
there you go.
something you fill up before you should, it's almost like if you could do it where you fill the thing up before you leave. Then while you're out on the course, you throw the ball in and twist it, shake it, do whatever you need to do it. And then at the end, you just dump the dirty water. Like, I think
Does,
we've totally remade your product. for you.
let's change one letter.
We tried, but.
No, you guys, this is, I mean, I like it. I like the concept. I think you're definitely onto something. You just need a name change.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I know nothing about golf, but it sounds like there's a need for it. It sounds like it's a great market.
Well, there's a new need for it. That's what I like about it is I don't like copycat things. I'm a big like, I'm not big, I did this business reality show recently. It's knockoff on Shark Tank. I mean, this is different, but I mean, I'm not big on copycat things. There's nothing like that for a ball right now.
Sure.
There's plenty of things to clean your clubs with, but you guys are actually talking about being at the beginning of a problem that golfers are having now that they didn't have before COVID.
Mhm.
And I think you could actually capitalize
And it's
on that.
not gonna go away, cause as
Yeah.
soon as you said that, I was like, I played once this season, and that's exactly, I was like, where the ball? I was like, it's not coming back. So now you gotta think, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So the need is, as Leslie said, it's there, it's not going anywhere. And
It's
oh, and if
a
it
fresh
happens to
idea.
also do a good job on clubs, wonderful.
Right.
Right, but you might already have your club, you may have your divot tool, you may have your range finder,
Yeah.
but nobody's been selling portable golf ball. Sponsors, sponsors, have you thought about?
Do you want to cover? Yeah, I would love to partner with, I mean, thinking big picture, TaylorMade, Titleist, that would all be great. We would like to start small, with like just making different designs of the product. We want it to just not be something that hangs on the side of your bag. We want it to have some kind of design to it, something that stands out. Another idea that we had is putting like team logos on it. I think that would be so cool to help it stand out.
Okay, so
Customizing it.
I'm just real quick, stay away from the big boys because they'll just knock you off.
Yeah.
If you legitimately were going after something like this,
Mhm.
you need to go do a patent search first and foremost,
Okay.
and you need to go figure out that if this could be patented technology, which it sounds like it could, and there's nothing else out there like it,
Sure.
that's the first place you want to go. The thing that sucks when you're little is people know that they can knock you off anyway. My first product was a baby product. Fisher Price came by my booth. I was so flattered, and 6 months later they came out with a total knockoff that got around my patent. Stay away from that. It's always sounds like a great idea when you start a product. Wouldn't it be great if TaylorMade wanted to come in and buy us? They'll buy you when you're, $20 million company. Actually, a private equity firm will, and then they'll sell them to TaylorMade. But or they'll make a knockoff. But you have to quietly under the radar, go do the work to find out if anything's out there, develop your product, figure out your cut. Like, I think you guys are actually onto something.
And that's like, we would love to just start off with our website. Like, we
Yeah.
want to start our brand, we want to start our own target market. And then under the radar, we want to get to those people that have the need to clean the ball, because courses are opening up like nationally, and they're not putting the ball.
Here's what I think is interesting though. See, we saw some other things tonight where it's like, well, who's your target market? What's your need? Are you sure? You're sure.
Yeah. Any golf.
Your
any
your
golf-
thing on market research is
golf.
people like cleaning their golf balls. If it works, Leslie's giving you the right advice. You know that if you bring this out,
Yeah.
it'll work.
Yeah.
So find a way to be able to bring it out and protect it.
Definitely.
Otherwise, we were here like 3 years ago. We saw the mirror with the workout thing, and now I see it on TV. Somebody did it,
Yeah.
right?
How much is it gonna sell for?
Yeah.
We said around 30.
We were looking for ideally $30.
Because we were looking in the market, like the brushes, like the handheld ones were $5. And there were things that were like somewhat similar that I guess were more advanced cleaners that were then pushing like 25, 30 range. So we were shooting for 30.
Yeah, I mean, I think privately, so when you talk about logos and all that stuff, I mean, I wanted to make covers with all the logos. The fee to license for sports teams and all of that is expensive, and it takes a big chunk, but you could private label them for golf clubs. So you go down to St. David's Golf Club and say, I want to make this thing for you guys to sell in your golf shop. I'll slap the logo on there for you. Will you test market it for us? They'll be like, you know, sure. I think you could get into a lot of local clubs with something like that, just to get off the ground, because, you know, eventually you want to be in a golf galaxy, but you don't want to be there until you're ready to be able to manage it. So you want to chip away at the little people and learn a little bit about it.
Is there any more questions?
So we didn't ask a question. We just told them what they needed. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Good job. We will now move on to announce our winners. So our fourth runner-up receiving a $100 check is Tyler Bennett and Nick Kaczynski. Next, our
There was a
third
little bit more there. Did he give you the full thing?
place- Sorry.
No, I forgot. I figured you're gonna say that afterwards.
Oh,
Oh, the judges' comments. Yeah, we'll have this.
Well, no, that was part of, so we wrapped in, I'm gonna spend some time with you guys and walk you through all the steps, okay? So that's part of your fourth place prize. So rather than, you guys have a bunch of stuff to do, and I will spend, you know, an hour, 2 hours with you guys to walk through all the steps you need to take to get there, okay?
let me break this down to you. We've been doing this for 8 years, and there has never been a shark that has volunteered their time to spend with individuals. Your idea is so special that Leslie is volunteering her time, which I will guarantee you will be much more than $1,000, to be sure that if you guys are serious about this, you do it the right way. So you can call it the fourth place prize, or you can call it the grand prize, but you need to understand what happened in the room where it happened. Okay?
Yeah.
Very
So I
good.
think I think you have an awesome idea. We'll go through it all though with comments after.
Thank you.
Okay, our third place winner receiving a $250 check is Ruth Rita. Any comments now or?
We'll
do it.
Yeah, we'll make.
Okay, awesome. Our second place winner receiving a $400 check is Roshane Ben. For our winner, that's going to be our first place winner of the 10th annual Shark Tank event is Carl Golden.
Do you guys all want to come up and we'll tell you a little bit about each one of your ideas?
Yeah. You can hold that. We're gonna have Maddie take a picture of you and I can. Okay, so the judges can make the final comments. You guys can do that.
You want to, should we just start with Carl and?
Yeah.
So Carl, the thing that stood out to all of us from this, and this is something that everybody in this room can benefit from. And I know, I'm pretty certain that everybody saw it. His presence up there is very strong. He stands, you know, he's got that military, you know, stands at attention, but not just that. He speaks loudly, but not too loud. He carries himself well. He paces himself well. There's a lot about his presentation that I think Carl is a huge step for anybody to be able, a huge step up or a leg up for anybody that's going in front of someone to try to sell something.
Thank you.
But I think one of the things that we would love to see you do is to boost, you have a lot of work to do, but we think that you could get this off the ground quickly and we think that you can get somewhere with it, you need to, the faith-based aspect of it. We talked about how COVID has taken a lot of things from people. You've got that ability to say, you know, we can't pray together, so, you know, take this so you can feel like we're together. Whatever your story is, polish that, upsell that, and, you know, get your numbers set with the candle, but the candle is really going to be secondary to your story when you're selling this. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
You guys want to add anything? I agree. I mean, I think that was, we said we loved your demeanor, the way that you were dressed, the way that you spoke. It was, I think it really showed kind of a level of respect, I guess, that I think that, you know, is in your background, and I appreciated that. But I think the idea is great. I think she's right. I think there's a lot you can do with different sizes. I would just say, you just have to do it. Whether you had the $1,000 or not, you just have to do it.
That's a plan.
And yeah, and I think that you'll find as you go, you'll find out a lot of things.
Definitely.
So just kind of be learning, look at the numbers, and I think you'll learn a lot as you do it.
Thank you very much.
Because we look at yours, we think yours is probably closest to ready to go, closest to ready to go. Everything Leslie said is true. And I never, ever want to hear you say, look at the slide. Slides are a visual aid. You should be able to tell your entire story, all of you, with no slides. It's your story, you know it. You reflect people to there. So since you'll never do that again, wonderful job, congratulations.
Thank you.
I've said this before, because I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
In TV land, a lot of times you'll be watching the screen and people read exactly what they're saying exactly what you're reading. I was always taught to give them something else in addition to what they're reading that supports what they're reading.
Yes.
So if you're presenting something and it's right in front of you, sometimes you have to walk through it. But other times you can give supporting information to back up what's on there already. So it's a good presentation thought.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Good there. Okay.
For sure you
You
guys
guys want to move on to Roshane or Bruce?
Yeah, Roshane.
Yeah, go ahead. Bert, you want to start?
All right, Roshane, I'll start. So I appreciate your authenticity. Like, it's clear you saw a need. You saw a need. It didn't come, we couldn't connect to it as closely, probably because Leslie and I are too old. But we couldn't connect to it as close, but it's clear that you can see that. But that's going to be important to make sure that who your audience is, that you're selling the need and what you're selling in a language that they can understand, right? Now, we think there's probably more in your idea that as you test this with other people and have them tell you the value they see in it, will help you build your value proposition, right? Leslie asked you a question, well, what do you do after you get the job? And you're like, oh, you can stay in contact with them. But your generation moves from job to job much more quickly. There's added value beyond that other people with different perspectives can see. So our encouragement to you is to continue to build the idea, but find out what other people see in it and build that into the foundation, which is the need that you saw in the marketplace. Make sense?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very interesting idea. I think there's definitely a need for it. I think we got a little tripped up on the like Snapchat versus LinkedIn versus Facebook, or that kind of thing. And I wonder if you're talking with students, I think they will understand, or students or younger people, they'll understand the Snapchat reference. I think if you're trying to sell it to companies, to universities, to whatever it is, I think they're not going to quite get it. So it's just that conversation. And then the last piece that we said is that personally, I feel like for a student or a young adult, the pricing is expensive because I think students are cheap. But then for companies, I think it's very inexpensive. They have a lot more that they can spend. So just figure that out. Is it free for students, young adults, but then companies pay to use the platform? Like, where does that land? Because I think you can charge a lot more than $30 a year. You could charge thousands a year for a company to use it.
I think you need UX desperately. You need user experience, and you need to get it in your friends' hands, and you need to, because you're going to find out so much about what they're thinking about it. You can make adjustments, but you need to know from your peers what exactly they want and need out of it. You know, I did think you talked about Snapchat. I don't Snapchat. I have it on here, but you know, you brought up some stuff about Instagram being deleted. If you're going to go sell those points to somebody, have some data. Where did that data come from? Was it just your instinct that that's what happens, or your friends? or did you find that somewhere? You want to say, according to, this is what's happening, so you can actually do some real comparisons. I got it when you said, as Facebook is to LinkedIn, you know,
Yes.
JobQ is to Snapchat. I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. I get it because I'm a dinosaur, right? But the dinosaurs are the ones that are paying the money to you, are gonna pay the most money for you. So I like the look. I think JobQ, even though I like the name, I'm not sure it totally is going, I think it's going to isolate what you can do. I love the networking aspect of it. Because to me, I'm big in social media, I'm big in networking, I'm big in connecting people. And so as far as I'm concerned, that whole networking part, I'm big on the build the bridge before you need it. This is a great way to build the bridge. As you all rise in the ranks, you're now remembering, you know, Sylvia, who you sat next to, you know, at the job fair, and all of a sudden you're like, I think she got that job at QVC or whatever, and you can connect somebody, or you can, you know, I like that part of it. So I think you're really onto something. I think you just need some user experience, get those friends in there, figure out exactly what the needs are.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Step a little bit more.
Well, because of the way the app was designed, I wanted it to be real. So it's more of like you met a person face to face.
Okay.
That person.
All right. So you might have to explain that to us old people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm serious that like if you're presenting to people,
They cut our time, so I didn't want to put that in just to kill time.
no,
Oh,
totally
okay.
get it,
Thank
totally
you,
get it.
guys.
Well, I think we all loved the idea. I think we can clearly tell the passion behind it and kind of the need from the international student perspective, like why it's so important for them. And even without being an international student, listening to you kind of go through the steps of what is needed, it sounds like a nightmare. And especially when you think that you're 17, 18, 19, however old you are, trying to come over. I think that once we kind of understood the concept that it was being sold to universities as a benefit to them to then go out to the students, I think there was a little bit that got lost in translation there, that we couldn't quite tell who was paying and where the money was coming from. I think once we got there, we understood it. I think you could really benefit from getting some numbers behind why do universities benefit from international students. Diversity is obviously a big piece of it, and I think everyone is now more aware than ever of that, but like, what are the actual numbers? Are international students, are their GPAs higher? Are they better at sports? Are they like, what are those pieces that you can put to it so that universities can go, oh, well, maybe our international program was 5%, maybe we need to make it 10%, 15%, like where does that build? So I think you could benefit from some of the numbers behind there, but it definitely sounds like there's a market for it. And I think we all really liked the idea.
You're at a bit of a disadvantage because you have 3 people here who have not lived your problem, right? So in us trying to understand it, we can only go so far as to totally grasping where you're coming from. But the beauty of that is you're not selling it to us. You're selling it to the people who also relate to the problem you have. So that is all that matters. So when you can go talk to Augusta or the woman that's here and she can say, oh my gosh, I'm swamped, like she, you know, Al was explaining to us, she relates to exactly what you're talking about. You, as long as you two are speaking the same language, that's all that matters. So I think that I think it's important that we explain that to you, because even though we were a little bit lost, once we understood it, we know the people who deal with that problem every day are going to understand it without you having the obstacle that we had.
Yeah.
The phrase that a picture is worth 1,000 words will help your pitch more than anybody else's. Because what became clear to us a little later is that your pitch requires no new money.
Yeah. No stuff.
All the money's already in the system. You're just trying to redirect it, a portion of it to you, to create a benefit so that the people who pay it to you can go make more money with their time. It's a really intriguing value proposition, right? Because Carl's got to have people who are buying other people's candles buy his candles. They're going to still buy candles. He's got to change where it is. You're solving a problem that can literally be a win-win. You let your pictures tell the story, and then you'll be able to do what Leslie's shared. You'll be able to talk to whatever audience and they'll be able to understand, well, how can you still do that? Well, how can you still do this? Well, how can you still do this? And there will be a benefit, as we are understanding, to smaller institutions who don't have the staff, right? That's the one piece that was missing, I think, in your presentation. And it's why it's so valuable here, because somebody who could benefit from it sees it immediately. They see it immediately.
Yeah.
Others who don't need it probably won't see it at all, but there's a lot of people who see it immediately. So there's a lot there. You should continue to run with it.
Well, and I appreciate you kind of, teaching us something
Yes.
about something we don't understand. I think that's what the dialogue of today is, right? Trying to understand what other people are going through. And so thank you for teaching us something too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've already had like conversations with and you're right, with Augusta, and she had informed me
Yeah.
how it's easier for her to understand since she's an advisor.
Yep.
And the relief that it would bring, like the workload that she would have.
Yeah.
And that would be offered. Yeah,
That's great.
thank you.
What's beautiful is when Leslie and I have done this for a little bit, we're not sure if Bob's coming back. But whenever there's a student who sees a need that's fueled by their experience, it doesn't matter what we say. We're here trying to help. You see the need, you know the need is real, never let go of that. So we're hoping to shape it for you, but continue to drive on it because you've lived it. And no one can change the value of a lived experience. Thank you.
Well, obviously, we've completely reworked the entire company and ready to rework, but we think you're onto something. You're a long way from getting there, but that's why I think if you guys are truly serious about this and we sit down and we go through the steps, I can eliminate the uncertainty of, well, what do I do next? Which direction should I go? We used to joke with my first company, like if anybody says, how were you so successful? Well, the University of Google, like we literally, everything we did was, what's next? Which direction do we go? So I can help you eliminate a lot of that sort of pain that goes into all of that by telling you what steps you have to take. There's a lot of steps to take, but it's fun. It's fun putting it together, particularly when you have a good idea. And I really think I love that it's a fresh idea. I love that it's not out there, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about golf, but I can tell that there is a need for it and that it is a really unique idea. And I think from what I know of the golf community, I feel like it's almost cult-like, and you're like, you're right, they just want to like buy things and put them on their bags and they've got it, so this person has it and that kind of thing. So I think you've got a big customer base there. The one thing that I would say is that when you were standing here the whole time and I saw it in your hand, I was like, is that it? Like, is that the actual product? Are they gonna show it? Is he gonna demo it? I think you should have started right away with the demo. The picture was a little, it showed what it was doing, but I wish you would have said, here's the product, this is what it does, and showed it right away, instead of kind of waiting until the end, because then it felt like, I wasn't sure, was it not final? Was that way we weren't seeing it, but I just would have kind of showed it in the beginning.
All right, now I messed with you guys about the ties, but I'm serious. Because when we walked in the hallway and I saw you guys dressed, I'm like, I hope they're gonna talk about golf. Like I literally was thinking, because you dressed your product.
Yes.
You dressed your product, which was brilliant. So whoever gave you guidance to wear suits and ties, tell them they were wrong, right? You should have been on a golf course, out of St. David's, on the cart, demonstrating what the issue was, right? And then you'd have people like that, because there's a marketing aspect to it, right? Which is really, really fantastic. So, maybe you didn't get positioned exactly the way, but I've learned, this is not my world, but it is Leslie's. And I'm telling you, you will get so much value, because if you don't protect it up front, it'll be gone. And you watch somebody do that. If you guys are serious about that, she'll give you the counsel, you can protect it, and you can do something big with it.
The real counsel, the lawyers, they're the ones who cost all the money.
I love
And
the
unfortunately, you're gonna have to spend some on that. But this is where you tap into friends and family and say, I want to start a business. We could talk about all of that stuff. There's all sorts of ways. What I would do in the meantime is I would do some market research on the gadget world in golf. I mean, that's why we buy the crap. We walk in and we're like, I don't have that. Does that work? I'll put that on my golf cart. To your point, Morgan, it's like, you've bought everything. you need another box of balls, but while I'm here, oh, I like that. So I would be really, I think you should do some market research on the gadget industry to understand your market, your potential, how big the golf market is. And then when we meet, you know, we can go through all that, but that's something you can get started on right away.
Okay. Yep, if y'all play baseball, y'all better get your swings back in shape.
We pick.
We're only pitching.
We don't
Oh,
have.
okay, no worries.
No worries.
All right, cool.
Awesome, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you.
Have Dr. Sachi come up and close us in prayer, but just a quick thank you. We wanted to thank our sharks and our contestants as well. We also wanted to help thank the people who made Shark Tank possible, Rebecca, Sue online, and also Rebecca upstairs from CTL. And just a round of applause for our Enactus team for putting this great event together. It does take a lot of work. We also want to thank Ben for speaking about autism awareness, and a huge thank you to Dr. Sachi for all of the support this year. And also alumni. It's been a crazy year. We'd also like to thank the alumni from the College of Business and Leadership who helped sponsor this event through the Eastern State of Giving as well. And just a special thanks to Eastern alumni Justin Tumivi, I told you I was going to say, for his generous donation towards Shark Tank as well. So thank you so much for joining us. And then if you want to close us out in prayer, Dr. Sachi.
Okay, let's pray. Father, thank you so much for this time. We know a lot of people put a lot of work into this, and thank you for our students, our Enactus students who work hard through the whole year to put this event on. And we had many challenges this year given this venue tonight, and we're just so grateful, Lord, that you allowed it to go off really well. Thank you for the contestants. They worked hard. I know this can be a real nervous time to present in front of a group of people, and thank you. They all did wonderful. But more than anything, Lord, we just praise you, and we just come through the Easter season. We thank you so much for your shed blood on the cross. And we're thankful for Eastern that we have the freedom to speak that and to speak about you. We pray for our university as we go through many just trials in the current climate. We thank you for our judges for taking the time out, for be willing to mentor students and help them along the way. And thank you, Lord, again, for who you are and what you mean to us. Send us all on our way and give us traveling mercies for those that have to travel. And thank you so much for this night. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.